Hi, yes, good morning. I hope you're able to hear me. So let me create a complete first. Okay, not available. That's fine. So let me create a new complete. My cluster, create it. Let me open this data frame. So we started talking about how we can create a data frame. Okay, so different options we came across it and different tasks we just seen. And if you need more in detail, we just go through the last session. You can get a clear picture about it. Okay, so today I'm going to take you through a few more options, and then I'm going to talk about the transformations in the Databricks. I mean to say in data frame. So few transformations even we have seen in the already also, how we can apply transformations. But when you go for interview, when we are talking about transformation, mostly that we can talk based on the data frame as we are concentrating or most of the projects are with the data frame. Okay, so transformation kind of things will be similar wherever we go. Okay, so we already done in ADF. Okay, so what kind of transformations we have done? The same way here also we are going to do it. Okay, so let's see your complete available. So now I'm going to show you how we can provide the schema to the data frame. Okay, so here we are not providing the schema. Okay, so we have a different options, and there are two ways to provide the schema to data frame. Okay, and apart from that, there is a one more way is also there. I'll tell you here itself. Let's say this to with infer schema. It takes this, it provides a schema. While reading data by data frame. Okay, so we know it already, like data frame reader is going to be created when you use the spark.read. And there is a function called infer schema. You can use it, but it takes some time. Okay, so to provide the schema, it has to read, it has to understand few records, then it is going to provide the schema. So, and it will not provide 100%. It will not provide 100%. So 100% you can get only with this with infer with the schema DDL and with the structure type we can get it. Okay. So rest of them also I'm going to take it through. Now cluster is available. So we know already we have a data in the forget about this employee Parquet file. I wanted to read the data from the text file. I mean to say .csv file. Okay. We have seen how we can read the data from the CSV file and how we can read data from Parquet file. And rest of them we can try from your side. I wanted to create a task. What is the task number? Task 7, task 8 I need to create. Task 8. create a data frame by reading data from employee.txt file and provide schema with infer schema. Okay, so infer schema is required only if you read data from CSV file or the CSV file or TXT file, or if you're creating a data frame with even this one also, like infer schema we are not going to use, but you can just leave it automatically. It is going to provide this. It is going to give the schema. So here what I wanted to do is we need to say task and task 8 underscore df equals to, I'm going to take a format function, spark dot array dot format. So here I'm just going to specify CSV. You can use the slash or you can use the bracket. I recommend to go with the bracket. Dot array dot format, and I need to provide option here. The option is header is there. So I wanted to provide the header. Header is true. And then we can use option again. In option, I wanted to say infer schema is true. Okay, so I wanted to say it is not a function. And then finally you can use the load. So load means file store and ADB 02, AD 02 I guess. Yeah, AD 02. Source and employee.txt. Now if I say what is there inside this, and to execute this, we need to bring this into the braces. Display of this data frame. Let's execute it. How exactly the data types are going to get? So previously all the columns are coming as a text data type. Now you can see if you expand this, then you can find previously employee number is string data type. Now it is an integer data type. Higher date is previously it is string data type. Now it is a date data type. This is double string integer. Okay, so but still there are this MGR is not up to the requirement data type. Okay, so this is not a string. Basically, this is an integer. Salary is double, fine, but commission again it is not a string. It is a double. Okay, so it gives the data types. For few of them is going to be correct and few of them is not going to be correct. So that you need to control it. You need to handle it. Okay, so how we can do it? It's all depends on your situation. You can do it. How we can do typecasting? We'll see that. Okay, how we can change the data types. Even in the project, I'm going to take you through how we can do it. Basically, when you read, you'll be having a zone called landing zone. So from landing zone, if it is moving to the bronze container or bronze zone, then all these data types will be strings here. Okay, so to avoid loading issues, we used to bring everything as a string. So later we are going to handle with whatever the data types are required. But here also I'm going to show you how we can do formatting of data types, how we can change the data types. Now I have a data frame here. This is fine. Now the second approach I wanted to say, with this one I wanted to show you. Okay, so with the DDL, I wanted to specify the data types. What data types are possible to handle it? So what I'm trying to do is, I'm just taking a copy of this. Okay, so I don't want to copy it. Let's say first you have to define the scheme. You have to define the scheme. So I'm trying to define the schema here with these columns, whatever the columns I'm having here. Okay, so employee emp underscore, or let's say schema1. I'm just saying schema1 equals to, in the double quote you have to specify the schema. Employee number is integer data type. It's a MySQL data types. Okay, so ename, that is string data type, because you cannot go for varchar. MySQL will not allow varchar, I guess. Okay, just check will it allow or not. Basically, we used to take it as a string data type. And job is again string data type. MGR is integer data type. And hire date is a date data type. Salary is a double data type. Commission is a double data type. Department number is integer. So this is how I just declare the scheme. It's a simple and easiest way. So once you've done this, okay, so I wanted to say task 9. Create a data frame by reading data from here and provide schema. Provide schema DDL. So in order to take that, you need to know one function. That is what we can say. Data frame reader dot schema. It is used to provide schema from outside, which means we are providing the schema. Okay, so data frame reader dot schema, I'm going to take this function. So this function is available same as like your option. In the same way, we have a schema function also. Okay, so just observe how I'm going to do it. Task 9 underscore df equals to spark dot read dot format CSV. The problem is with only CSV. Dot option header is true. Option header is true. That is fine. Okay, so I wanted to take schema. So here I'm going to take a schema name, that is a schema1. Let me say emp underscore schema1, and then dot load. So here I can pass the path file store ADA02 source employee.txt. Now this one I wanted to print it. So how exactly it is going to get? Just observe. Will it give any error or not? Let's execute this. Where is the problem? Yeah, bracket. Now just execute it. File path does not exist. AD02. Now you can see the data here. If we expand this, integer data type, string data type, job data type is string. Now you can see integer is integer. Higher date is date. That is fine. And salary is double. Commission also double. Integer. Okay, so we can see that. This is one type of approach. Now another approach is the second one. Here we have it, third approach, right? Struct type. You can use the struct type to define the scheme. Everything is same. Only the schema definition, the schema declaration only is going to be changed. Let me say it is 10. Provide schema with struct type. Okay, so this entire thing you are just going to take out it. We need to this one is very much simple. And here only I'm just going to change this. So the struct types, we have to import SQL functions. When you go for struct type, you have to import the let me take the syntax. Okay, let me take a. So this is a SQL types. You have to import this. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here is first, before this, so I will give the difference why we need to go for this. Okay, so you can use struct type. It is to define the schema from outside. And we can control to enter null or not. So if for any of the column, if you wanted to enter a null, or if you wanted to, if it is not required to enter a null, you can ignore it. Okay, so basically when you go for a DDL type, every column is going to allow the null. But here we can control if you're really not required to do it, then you can take it. Okay, so I'm just taking this line. Let's come to here. So struct type, we are going to use the function called struct type. This function is available in this particular place. So we need to import from PySpark dot SQL dot types dot star and just saying import. Import star, I guess. We'll see that. Will it work or not? Let me check. Yes, this one you have to write it. Because this is available in the SQL type, the struct type function and struct field also. Okay, so struct type. Okay, so struct type. Under the struct type, we have a Under the struct type, you can specify the list of columns here, whatever the field you require that you can specify. Okay, so even here also you can take like this. This is one field. Go with the comma separated. So field name, I'm going to take letter, take the field names from here. So field type is, string type is there. We have to take integer type. Make a comma. So list of columns you have to specify. Ename. Now ename we can take as a string type. Next is job. Let me keep all the columns NGR, hire date, and then salary, commission, department number. So department number is a integer type. That's all. And hire date is a date type. And salary is a double type. Commission also double type. All are having true here. And if at all, if you don't want to allow the null, you can say it. So commission is required to allow the null, but employee number is not required. You have to say, you can say false. That you can have a control. You don't allow the nulls for the employee number. Okay, so hire date also basically if any employee joins, definitely it is going to be having hire date. So I'm just keeping for hire date also null. The rest of them I'm just leaving as is the default. We can allow the nulls for rest of the columns. So if at all, if you don't need to, if you're not interested to allow the null columns, null values, then you can just go and keep that as a false. Let me take out this. So now this schema we are going to use here. Only difference is how you are defining the schema. You can search in a Google. Okay, so even I don't remember this syntax always. Okay, if you have an idea, if you can go and take a syntax and you can start working on it. Okay, so I'm just going to say task 10. So task 10 underscore df. Let's execute it. I guess there is a wrong. Query is missing. Comma is there here, but still it is getting the data also. Okay, employee schema to perfectly all right. Yeah. Let's re-execute again. So you can see the data is getting displayed and you can see the data types as expected. Okay. So 3 ways we have seen how we can define the schema. We can ask a Databricks to define the schema by using the infer schema. So it depends on the availability of the data, it infers the schema. So in order to do this, it takes some time to set up the, it has to read some data to define the schema. So because of that reason, most of the times we don't go for infer schema. But in the interview, there is a chances to ask what is the use of infer schema. So infer schema, you're asking your Databricks to provide the schema. Is that? Okay, so there is something wrong. Job column name. It's employee number, employee name. In the previous one, job is showing perfectly. Integer type, it is not integer type, it is a string type. Good catch, man. Now you can see. Okay, so there may be some data types issue. You just have a look on it. Now it is showing the data as expected. So we have seen these three different options. Infer schema, we faced an entry question. What is infer schema and what is the purpose of it? So infer schema will be used to infer the schema automatically by Databricks. I mean to say, based on the availability of the data, it decides the data types. But it's not going to give 100% accurate. So in order to have a perfect data type, then you have to define the data types either with the structure type class, or you can go with the DDL. Okay, so two approaches, so just remember it. Now, once you have a schema in your hand, once you have a data frame in your hand, then you have to do the transformation. Once you have a data frame, then you have to do the transformation. So even with the RDD also we have done it, transformation. There are two different types of transformations. One is narrow transformations and other is wide transformations. So narrow transformations and wide transformations, whatever the concept is there across the database is very much similar. Theoretically, 100% is similar. Okay. So here, what kind of transformations we are having? What kind of transformations we are having that we are going to see. So we know, I think we already covered this print schema, right? Somewhere. Yeah, print schema I already covered. So print schema is not a transformation. Now I have a requirement. I wanted to take only required columns. So if I wanted to take only required columns, then how you can do it? If I wanted to take all columns, then how you can take all columns? So I'm going to create one more data frame for easiness. Okay, so from here I'm going to have a functions. Okay, so let me say about this function. Otherwise, we can have a task itself. Task 11. Write PySpark code to get all columns from a data frame. Okay, so that is task 1. So in order to do this, we need to know about the function called select. Select is a transformation. Okay, so select is one of the transformation. So like this, we are going to say the transformation functions. You can understand. So select is one of the transformation, and we frequently we are going to use this. Select is used to take required columns or all columns from the table or data frame. When I say table, basically the terms will be mixed. So when I say table, it may be even data frame also. Okay. So I'm talking about data frame, 100% that is data frame. Now, what I wanted to take is, I wanted to take all columns from the table. So if you wanted to take all columns from the table, in this particular function, you can pass the star or you can pass the required columns. If you remember, in SQL also we used to do the same thing. If you wanted to take the data from the employee table, you can write a code something like this, select star from table. That is employee. Let's execute it. Okay, let me do one thing. Now let's again execute it. You can see this data. So star represents what? All columns. Even here also the same thing. If you can understand SQL, then understanding PySpark transformations is very simple. Data frame transformations are very simple. Okay, so we can say it is used to take data for all the columns or for selected columns. So how we can provide the selected columns, that we'll see that. Okay, so star represents all columns. Now I wanted to create a data frame. Okay, so going forward, I'm going to use the same data frame only for all these functions wherever it is required. If at all, if I require to go for other data frame, I'll take it. So I'm just creating data frame by using existed data frame. Okay, so emp underscore df equals to task 10 df. Whatever the data is there inside this, that I'm going to bring it here. And a display emp underscore df. So same to same. Okay, so same to same it is going to happen. Now I wanted to take the data from this particular data frame. I wanted to get the data for all the columns. To get all the data from all these columns, emp underscore df dot select. In the select, you can specify a star dot show. So show function also we can use instead of creating too many data frames, I can use the show function to see the data itself here. So here my intention is not to create too many data frames. I wanted to explain about the select function. The result, this entire result, if you wanted to store another data frame, you can say df1 equals to, and then this show you cannot do not use here. Df1 dot show you can use it. So this way we can do it. But I don't want to go like that. I just wanted to talk about this. So I'm just keeping the show function. And if you're even not interested for this entire thing, we can keep a display function also. Okay, so this will be much more readable. You will not get much confusion if you use the show function. So even this show will work with the MySQL standard also. Okay, so I'm having data for all the columns. Now, the task 11, I wanted to go for task 12, I wanted to go for required columns. Okay, so I'm just taking out this from here. Write a PySpark code to get required columns. To get data for required columns. So we don't need to create again data frame because already existed this data frame. I'm going to use the same thing. And here you can specify the data. You can specify the list of columns. So what are the columns you wanted to take it? Okay, so I wanted to take employee number. Then specify the employee number. And just try, is that showing data or not? I'm able to see the data for employee number. Comma. E-name, employee name or E-name. Let's execute it. Comma, E-name. Now consider it. I wanted to see the job. I wanted to see the salary. That's all. You can see the data for selected columns. You can see the data for selected columns. Okay, so this is one type of approach. Let me keep this as a 12 only. Okay, so we have a data for selected columns. If you remember in data flow, we have come across select transformation. By using select transformation, by using select transformation, you can select required columns. Or you can select all the columns. When you go for all columns, you don't go for select basically. If I need all columns, then what is the use of the select function? Even in the data flow also, we don't use the select transformation. Even in Databricks also, we don't require to use the select transformation. Because if you need all columns, there is no use of using this transformation. Okay, so here I'm going to specify the same thing and make sure to specify all columns in a list. Okay, so same to same, there is no much differences. I'm just taking out all these columns from here. I'm going to create list underscore columns equals to, and just keep that in the list. So that we know already how we can define the list. List of columns, we can have it here. And I'm just going to use this list columns. Now just execute this, it is going to show you the data for required columns. So this is also one of the options. So what we are doing here, we are trying to read the data for selected columns. We are trying to read the data for the selected columns. So I recommended to use the select function to take only required columns. You can create a columns also, but you have to do some workaround for that. Instead of that, I can recommend if I wanted to create another new column here, then I'll recommend you to use another function. We can also use the select function also to use that. Okay, so let's try, will it work or not? Write a Spark code. To convert ename into uppercase. In that case, I'm not going to define the columns like this. I'm going to give the list of columns, employee number, employee name, job, and salary. So up to here, we are perfectly alright. So this name I wanted to convert into uppercase because here I have a one character is uppercase and other character is in lowercase. So to get that, what we have to do is we need to convert this. We need to convert it. So there is a function called expr. That function you have to take it from PySpark .sql .functions import star. Okay, so I'm just using this. Now here we can use expr. I guess it will work. Let's see. Yes, it's a lower I have taken it. I'm just taking it upper. Okay, so let me write about this expr function. Basically, this is coming from this particular SQL module. So I just wanted to say expr. It is used to write SQL expressions in the PySpark. Okay, so SQL style of expression it is. Apart from this, even we have another function directly. Let me take the same thing. This is 13, 14. Same I wanted to do it, but not with the EXPR. I wanted to select EXPR. So when you go with this function, either EXPR or select EXPR. Okay, so it is used to write SQL expressions in the PySpark. Okay, so whatever the expression you wanted, you can do it. Okay, whatever the expression you wanted to do it, you can do as part of this particular place. Okay, so here I'm just taking out this. I'm just keeping only expression. EXPR is not required. Okay, so since we already imported this, we don't need it. If at all, basically this is, for this one, we don't require this particular, this one. This module is not required. This module is required only for EXPR function. Okay, so this also we can use directly, select EXPR function to take the required columns, all columns. Apart from that, it is also going to allow you to write a SQL standard expressions. So we have come across it, how we can do it. Okay, so how we can create a columns, we have seen. The same thing that we can do it here also. That expression, entire expression, you have to keep inside the code. Now I wanted to say, let's execute even from here. Now here also you can say the same thing. So this is how it is going to be there. You can write a SQL standard style of the code if you wanted to do it. Okay, this is one thing. I wanted to add salary plus commission. Let me add this commission also here. Okay, so let me take this entire expression, paste it here. This one is not required. We can set it as 16. Write as PySpark code to convert to calculate total salary that is salary plus commission. Okay, so salary is there and commission is there. I wanted to take out this. I don't need to do this. Just leave it as it is. And here I'm going to create a total salary. So salary plus commission as total salary. Let's try to execute this. 800 plus null is null. It's not getting as expected. Okay, so simple. If you go and write here, I wanted to say salary plus commission as total salary. Let's execute this. Now you're getting this right. So you're not getting as expected. Okay, so if commission is null, then I don't want to add it. Okay, so we can use policy function. Commission. Then it is a salary. Else, salary plus commission. Let's execute it. Now you can see 800 plus null is 800. 1600 plus 300. What is this? Salary plus commission. If commission is null, 800 is fine. If commission is not null, something is wrong. Plus oh my god. If commission is null, then 0. Else salary plus commission. Something is I'm missing here. One minute, guys. Guys, give me 1 minute, please. Okay, let me check this one. There is a, if it is null, then 0, else commission. Plus salary. Let's execute it. Now it's fine. 600 plus 300 is 1900. So this expression I'm going to take into Databricks. So this is the place. Paste it. That's all. Let's execute that. We are going to get this error. Okay, so this is how you can write a SQL expressions if you wanted to write a SQL expressions. Okay, so even this one you can also do it in a different way, like is null of commission zero Let's execute this. That is fine. Plus salary. Now this is also fine. You can also use this expression. Okay, so if you know SQL, then the same expression you can bring it into this place. Okay, so with select expression that we can do it. And we have seen how we can use the select expression function, and EXPR along with the select function, how we can do it, we have seen. And there are one more function that we are going to see, and it is very, very important. And most of the times you are going to come across that. Most of the times you are going to come across that. So that is two functions are there basically. Let's take a task first. Write a PySpark code to restrict the data based on requirement. Okay, so in order to do this, we are going to use the function called where. It is used to apply a filter to restrict the data based on requirement. So apart from that, we are also having a function called filter function. Either one of them you can use. So this is also a transformation. Where is a transformation? Filter is a transformation. So this is the third transformation we are looking. So it is used to apply filter to restrict the data based on the condition. So both will be for the same purpose. Okay, so I'm going to take all the columns from here. Okay, so all columns means we don't need to write select statement, right? Select function, we don't need to use it. Now I'm able to see all the data. Okay, so I'm just going to give the task 1. Here itself, I'm just giving a parts under the task 17. Okay, get only get employee details if they are working in department number 10. So we talked about the SQL very starting of the data factory. If you understand the SQL, then understanding this Databricks is very much simple. So that's what I told you, SQL is important. Okay, so the same thing. If I wanted to apply the filter here, where department number equals to 10, right? Ways to use where department number equals to 10. Then it is going to get a filter data here. You have a filter data. The same thing I wanted to do it here also, but not in a SQL code. I wanted to do with the PySpark code. So in order to do this, what you have to do is here you have to use the function called where. You have to use the function called where. In the double quote, you have to give a condition. In the double quote, you can give a condition. Let me check that a department number equals to 10. Dot show. Let's execute it. Let me take out this. Where department number invalid syntax. Something is, yes, it's a comment, right? you have to give a comment. Let's execute it. Now you can see the data for only department number 10. Okay, so different approaches is that you can say instead of keeping that in a double quote, you can say empdf dot depart number equals to 10 also you can say. Okay, so I'm just making this comment here. A similar approach I'm just giving. I'm trying to give. So I wanted to say empdf dot column name equals to 10. So in this way also we can get it. Okay, so either one of them you can do it. Okay, so this is one, and another one is more or less same. Let's say it is 2. The people who are working department number 10 as well as department number 20. So both the departments I wanted to get it. So if I need both the departments, what you have to do? You can go with the R. Department number equals to 20. That is what we have done it. The same thing I'm just trying to do from here also. Okay, so I'm just taking the first approach. Okay, so you can try whatever the approach you wanted. I gave one more option here. So just to show you, I'm just making this as a comment. Okay, so part 2, I'm just giving here something like this so that you can differentiate it. Okay, and empdf dot where depart number equals to 10 or department number equals to 20. Let's see, will it execute or not? It's executed. Department number 10 and department number 20. Okay, so I wanted to say here the third one, get employee details if they are working as managers. So if this is the case, then how you can do is, I'm just going to say, let me make this as a comment. emp underscore df dot where you can use what you can say, job equals to manager. Okay, no, let me keep in a single quote and double quote. Let's say so. Let's execute it. So now you can see only the people who are working as a manager. Whatever we discussed in a SQL test, the same thing you can do practicing. Okay, so I explained multiple situations in SQL. Just try to do the same thing here also. The fourth one I'm saying is get employee details if they're getting salary between 1,000 and 3,000. empdf dot where you can use salary greater than or equal to 1,000 and salary less than or equal to 3,000. Let me say so. Let's execute it. The range of the salaries we are able to see it. The range of the Serverless, we are able to see. Okay, so if you wanted to exclude this, excluding this, in front of this condition, we can have a not function. Let me check that. Will it work or not? Not sure. Okay, if that is the case, just trying. No, not is not going to allow you to do like this. You have to do it in a different way. I'll show you that, how we can do it. Okay, so this is one of the way to get the range of the serverless. Oh, sorry, let me take out this not. Okay, and another one I wanted to say, get employee details. If the employee is not eligible, not sure, will it work or not? Commission. emp underscore df dot where commission is null. Dot so. Yes. These people are not eligible. Okay, so quite opposite to this is 6.1. I'm going to say get employee details if the employees are eligible for commission. Let's execute it. So the people who are eligible, it is able to show it. Okay, so I can use this logical not how we can use that. I'll check that one. It's the time up. Okay, so still I need to show few more examples with the where, and wherever you have used the where, try to use the filter also. Okay, so try to use the filter. Will it work or not? Let's check. Filter will work or not. You can use the filter also. Okay, so if you know the where function, then using the filter is very simple. Same to same only. Okay, so I'm just making unmute yourself to ask a question. Any question, guys, before stopping?
Hi, Bhaskar. This is Venkat.
Hi, Venkat.
Yeah, see, we are creating DDL on top of existing .cs or .txt files, right?
Yeah.
So, if that file already has a header, means like
that's what we are specifying header is true.
Okay, no, the existing file has header, then still we are defining it will replace it.
No, we are not replacing anything in the Excel. I mean to say CSV file. We are just saying my file is having the header. So it ignores that particular row. If you remember, in Data Factory, we have a checkbox.
Yes.
Okay, header is there or not. So when I say header, that is going to treat that particular row as a header. Okay, so when you go for target, it will take the header, right?
Yes.
But when it comes to here, we are saying that the file is having the header. If the file is
Okay.
not having the header, then we don't need to specify this true. We need to say it is a false.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So here I got it. Okay. Here there is a header, so that's why it is assigning detail types as by default.
Yeah,
But coming
schema is different. This is a table schema, not related to file. There is no more related to file.
For example, you already created, right, like a struct type and
Yeah.
so those are related to schema. I mean, on top of tables.
And on top of data frame, not on the file. Your
Yeah,
underlying data store is file only. Okay. So here you're defining the schema for your data frame, not for your file.
Yeah, but this task 10 underscore df, it is a data frame, right? But this data frame we created on top of the existing file only, right?
See, we are reading it. We are not doing anything. We are reading the data from the particular file. So when I say header, it will not consider that particular row.
Okay, we are reading data from file by using data frame. On top of, we are defining the schema.
Exactly. So it will ignore this header when you say true. Okay, so then you will be having without header. You're getting my point. Without header, for that we are creating a schema. For that particular data, we are creating a schema.
Okay, so finally, if you want to do any functions on data frame, it's a purely tables only, not about files.
Exactly. This
okay,
data
just we are reading data from file.
Exactly.
And we are making as a table.
Yes. So data frame is more or less same type only.
Okay. So this is PySpark, right? Actually, yesterday I didn't attend, so that's why I'm
maybe you got confusion. If you attempted on yesterday, we have seen why schema is not available. If you go for when you create a RDD, we have seen, right? For RDD, we don't have a schema. So we can provide the schema for the RDD. We can create a data frame.
Go through the previous session.
Go through the previous session, so you'll get little more clarity. So once you have a data frame in your hand, then how you can save the data for your requirement, that is what we are talking about. Okay?
Yeah, I got you. So, thank you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Tell me.
Hello, hi sir, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Like when I'm running, like I got an issue when I'm running the like Python code. Can I share my screen once?
Yeah, you can share your screen.
You're not able to share the list.
Now try.
Yeah, I'm able to share. This one this is one of the tasks which I explained in previous classes.
Okay.
Yeah, when I'm running this one, dbutils.fs.list command, find the target directory. But here it is showing the error like out of mode, like this one, file not found exception.
Okay, so first you have to check piece by piece. Okay, if you go for a print first target directory, or you're just taking directly target directory, can you go a little up?
Yes.
Can you go? So target directory, what it is there? trg underscore directory, all right?
Yeah.
Okay, so file store AD04 source and output. So check that in a directly. You can just check.
Okay, I need to print the target directory.
Yeah, just print the target directory. Not only print, you have to use the ls only. Oh, hold on. In the next cell, what is that? Command 7. Go to the command 7 and try executing that. Basically, output, do you have a existed or not? You just check it. Go to your catalog. You know, right, how you can check it.
Yeah.
Okay, so DBFS, file store. So you don't have an output, right? Output folder is not available. Okay, so
Yeah.
because of that reason, it is saying it is not available.
But how can I do? Like
So
I
this-
copy data from.
See, first what you have to do is the target
First,
directory.
I want to create the output.
No, not required. Go there. So after in this line second, after output, just keep the slash.
Okay.
Okay, that is one thing. And if can you print target path in the
Target directory or
Well,
target path?
target path?
Okay. Yeah, this is what like.
Yeah, here it is the right customer dot perfectly it is. Now you can use the cp command. Now can you execute the command 7? You will get it now. Okay,
Okay.
the slash was missed.
I have only.
Only this. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Can you,
Thanks.
Yeah. Sir,
do you want to save this screen?
not here. In RDD, so majority of the we're dealing with the files, like moving the file one place to another place. The
Okay,
same data frame also, is that possible to move the files from one place to another place?
see, RDD is not going to move from one place to other place. Only DBFS commands will move the
Yeah,
files
correct.
from one place to other place.
Hmm.
We can save the data with RDD as a save as a text file we have done right. Here also we are going to do. I'll talk about it.
Okay, fine. So
The
because,
end result you have to store somewhere.
right. Okay.
Okay, so that may be table, that may be file. We are going to come across it.
Okay, sir. Fine. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Anyone else?
Did you upload sample resume?
I have uploaded in the drive. Guys,
Yes,
did you check that?
Yeah, very sorry.
Yeah,
In the class
in
folder.
the classroom. In the
the-
classroom, I uploaded.
Okay, and one more thing. Arif is saying that you haven't have any course completed, all are running itself.
Yeah, for me, actually, here I started a couple of months ago.
Okay.
I mean to say, I gave training in other institutes previously, but now I'm associated with Nares IT. So that is still running. So that's what even I feel. Okay, so that is true.
Okay, and one more thing. Here, how to create this database DBFS folder in this community edition.
DBS folder, which folder you want? By default, you will be having a folder. Okay.
Yeah, in the catalog. Yeah, here it is.
DBFS. This DBFS, if you followed the starting of the session, I told you one of the option you need to enable it.
Okay.
Okay, so if you enable that, then you are going to get it. So let me show you somewhere it is there. I used to forget about it. Admin settings.
Settings, it seems. Yeah, yes.
Somewhere it is there. Not sure. If anyone having idea, you can help me on it. Yeah. So in the advanced, you can find there is a DBFS file browser. You need to switch on it. Then you will get it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so I'm stopping here. Any other question, guys? So complete your practice, at least concentrate on the data frame. Data frame is much more easier than your RP. Okay, so no need to concentrate on the indexes. Okay, you can directly, you can feel like a table. When I show here, you can feel that. But doing with audit is really difficult. Okay, so if it is unstructured data, then you can go with that. Otherwise, we don't need to go for auditing. Okay, so auditing, even if you don't practice, that's fine. But data frame mandatory required. Okay, so I'm stopping here. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for that.